Good day, fine citizens. I'm Allan Taylor, grateful that you clicked the play button on our Gold and Blue Daily Lunch Report. Now, West Virginia aiming to become bowl eligible this week versus Kansas, but for which bowl, you ask? Well, it appears the Mountaineers are most likely slotted for one of two destinations. Either the Russell Athletic Bowl in Orlando, where they would face an ACC team, or there's the Texas Bowl in Houston, where an SEC West opponent looms all but certain. Next up is a big fella who started 3 bowl games at West Virginia. Jeff Braun on the line for his Thursday tutorial. And because we do our research, Jeff, we know that West Virginia averaged 38 pass attempts in your 3 postseason starts. So I guess you never thought you'd see the Mountaineers end the game with just 12 passes, as was the case against Texas.
No, and I never thought I would see power. I never thought I would see ISOs. I never thought I would see tight ends and fullbacks in the same formation. But, we're seeing a lot of it this year, and it's a credit to Coach Holgerson. He's adapting to his personnel, and that's a sign of a good football coach is when you have certain personnel and, you're used to running the same type of offense over and over again, and there's going to be times when there's a unit that's a little more experienced than the rest of them, and you have to adapt to where your strengths are, and they're doing that this season because they have a decent offensive line right now, and they're gelling right now at the end of the season with what they need to do, and then they have a quality fullback tight end combo, and then they have a great running back right now with Smallwood, so it's working well.
Indeed. So let's roll tape and see what works so well versus the Longhorns. We start with an inside power run by Smallwood, and it picks up 20 despite Texas trying to create confusion on the defensive front.
They do an exchange, so the defensive end slides down to the gap, and the linebacker plays over top for the C gap. But I think the defensive end needs to be a lot more physical in this tackle, get his hands on him, and not come back in the backfield instead of just sliding down to the B gap. We're going to run power here to the right. We're going to let the end man of the line of scrimmage go. It's a 4-down look. So right now we're going to have Panky pull. Now, he does a great job. The defensive end closes the gap. So what we want to do here is a technique called wrong arming the wrong armor. All right, he does a good job of sealing the guy off. And Wendell Smallwood does a good job. He goes through the hole and is quick to attack it, but he slows down just a little bit the second level to allow our tackle to really wall off that linebacker.
West Virginia quite content to keep running inside power, getting those 6-7 yards a pop, even when Texas brings numbers with the blitz.
So we're going to run the same play here. It's going to be power again. Now, if you look at the front now, we have 6 guys on the line of scrimmage. All right, that's going to alert us to a blitz. And Panky does a good job. We're still going to let the end man go, but this time it's not the defensive end. It's the last man on the line of scrimmage who's the blitzing linebacker. And this time you see a different technique by the end man on the line of scrimmage. All right, instead of washing down, he comes straight up the field, and Panky kicks him out. Running back does a good job fitting inside of that. Great job by the fullback, and great job on at yards after contact. If you can run power into a blitzing formation, and get positive yards, you're being a physical football team, and I think that's what I like to see out of this play.
Of course, Texas can run some power too, and it does it here quite effectively. Christian Brown almost disrupts the play, but linebackers Nick Kwiatkowski and Jared Barber get bunched up in the same gap, and UT's Chris Warren rips off a 24-yarder.
This is the same play that we saw that West Virginia ran the first 2 clips. Texas is going to run the same thing. It's power. We're going to pull the backside guard. We're going to have a fullback lead up on the backer. Christian Brown does a good job getting off the block, and he reads the play. He steals the down block and tries to swim it. All right, but our linebackers get caught up in the rush. All right, you see here the linebacker gets caught up. It looks like we're trying to exchange linebackers here, and they get caught up. Now, great play by the Texas fullback. He hesitates a little bit. He sees color. He chips our defensive end right into 55, and then he's able to get up on the backer and block the guy he's supposed to have, and the guard kicks out K.J. Dillon, and it's a really wide hole. I mean, this is huge for power play. When sometimes you look at a power play, you have a hole that's 6 inches wide. They tell the running backs to get through it. Right now, you got 6 yards. Looks like we're doing a cross blitz, but if that's the case, then we have the DN going inside too. So it's 3 guys inside, which is never good.
Back to the West Virginia offense now, and Skylar Howard trying to go deep off play action. But defensive tackle Desmond Jackson splits Kyle Bosch and Marcel Lazard for the sack.
If I would give a sack on this play, I'm going to give it to both the right guard and right tackle, and here's why. The defensive tackle is in a 2-wide position, so he's inside shoulder of the right guard. And the right guard does a good job at first, but then he kind of softens up and lets him go backside. If that guy's in your A gap, if he's there, try to keep him there. And I know the guy's going to make a move and swim around, but he's not helping his tackle out. Now, going to the right tackle, you have the inside gap on this. Play action pass, you're blocking down, that's your gap. If you see color, you have to block it. And it's just another rookie mistake. You know, we saw this same thing last week, and I think he's doing overcompensating from last week when he overcommitted last week. The guy goes around. This time he doesn't overcommit, but he's too soft at the point of attack, and he lets the guy break through. The right guard, right tackle, both I think need to clean this up a little bit. I'm not going to put it on one guy or the other. It looked like the right tackle was he saw the right guard blocking him, and he probably got his eyes to the second level, which he really shouldn't. And the guy just made an easy swim move over the guard and goes upfield. And the right guard's thinking that he has the help backside, so he doesn't have to be staying with the guy. So, just a mishap on both the guys.
Finally, Jeff, a fake screen play that your unit ran a few times against Clemson back in the Orange Bowl. Haven't seen it much lately, so the Texas defense takes the bait.
So this play, I love this play. We ran it. This is Holgerson all the way from he first got at West Virginia. All right, so you're setting up the defense for the screen, but you're going to throw it over into the zone. But you still sell it as a screen. What we do here is basically we just run flat down the line of scrimmage, get the linebackers to pull up, and then typically on a screen, slot receiver is going to block that guy. But instead on this play, what he does is he goes and basically stalk blocks him, makes it appear like he's going to block him, then he does a quick inside route and sits in the void.
Thank you, Jeff, for digging into the details. I tell you, man, every week you remind us all why you were an all-academic Big East selection. Not sure how many scholars we have on the Metro News Game Day crew. Most of us were guys who used to forge our parents' signatures on report cards. But we like college football, and we hope you'll like the 9 hours of coverage each Saturday. This week it begins at 9 a.m. in advance of West Virginia's noon kickoff at Kansas. Hear it on great stations across West Virginia and live streaming on the website. Listen, call, cheer, complain. We're up for all of it. And time's up for this edition of the Gold and Blue Lunch Report. Until tomorrow, have fun, everybody.